When Friends first aired in 1994, it was groundbreaking in its simplicity as a sitcom centered around 6 friends navigating love, work, and adulthood in New York City. It quickly became a cultural juggernaut, but we at Screen Rant are wondering if it still holds up for a modern audience.
This is harder than I thought it would be.
Friends was once the gold standard for sitcoms, beloved by millions and hailed as one of the greatest TV shows of all time. It was an honest look at a group of Gen X 20-somethings making their way in the world. The show won Emmys, dominated water cooler conversations, and solidified itself as a pop culture touchstone. Even today, quotes from the show are ingrained into pop culture, beyond shouting "pivot."
Here we go, pivot!
It was the show that birthed the global phrase, "going commando."
Maybe if I wasn't going commando.
For many viewers, Friends is a comforting time capsule, a reminder of their own youthful experiences. But as newer generations discover the series through streaming platforms like Netflix and Max, some of its content hasn't aged well. Critics and fans alike have raised concerns about outdated jokes, stereotypes, and missed opportunities for inclusivity. As progressive as some storylines are, Friends contains numerous moments that feel outdated or problematic in 2025. Perhaps the most glaring issue is the show's lack of diversity. Considering it is set in New York, a city known for its cultural melting pot, and the group live in Greenwich Village, Friends features an overwhelmingly white, heterosexual cast. Guest stars of color are few and far between, and when they do appear, their roles are often minor. This lack of representation has been a frequent critique, especially as more modern shows like Insecure, Master of None, and even sitcoms like Brooklyn Nine-Nine highlight diverse casts and perspectives. Monica's backstory as an overweight teenager is often used as a punchline, with flashbacks to fat Monica emphasizing her clumsiness and overeating. The jokes, predominantly made by Chandler or Ross, not only perpetuate fat shaming, but also suggest that Monica's transformation into a thin, successful chef is what made her worthy of love and acceptance. In today's era of body positivity, these moments feel especially cruel and out of touch. While Carol and Susan's relationship was groundbreaking for its time, it wasn't immune to problematic treatment. Jokes about Ross's discomfort with their marriage could veer into homophobia, and the show misses opportunities to fully explore their dynamic. Chandler's father, played by Kathleen Turner, is another example. The character is the lead act in a Las Vegas drag burlesque show, whose stage persona is known as Helena Handbasket. Though Chandler's jokes about this are examples of a defense mechanism from his own problematic childhood, they undermine the progressiveness of including an LGBTQAI+ character. Though Turner herself is deemed a gay icon, she has said she wouldn't likely accept the role today. While Friends occasionally challenged gender roles, it also reinforced them in other ways. Joey's womanizing behavior is excused as part of his charm, while Ross's possessiveness over Rachel is often framed as romantic rather than problematic. Chandler's insecurity about being perceived as gay, despite identifying as straight, is played for laughs in multiple episodes, perpetuating harmful stereotypes. Fortunately, other than Ross's weird possessiveness, these attitudes lessened as the characters grew older. Friends' humor hasn't aged well in several areas. Casual homophobia, sexism, and jokes at the expense of marginalized groups appear throughout the series. For example, the treatment of Chandler's sexuality and the mocking of Phoebe's eccentric beliefs often cross into territory that feels insensitive today. Friends deserves credit for breaking ground in certain areas, especially for a network sitcom in the 90s. Let's dive into the storylines that still feel relevant and progressive today. One of the show's boldest storylines involves Ross's ex-wife Carol coming out as gay and starting a life with her partner Susan. Rather than vilifying Carol for leaving Ross, the show portrays their co-parenting relationship as complex but ultimately cooperative. Ross was understandably unhappy that Carol left him, but he didn't hate her for her sexuality. He was a 20-something who had his heart broken. No matter who Carol was with, Ross would have struggled at first. While Ross's jealousy and discomfort with Carol and Susan's relationship sometimes lead to jokes at their expense, the show also challenged Ross to grow. After Ben's birth, Ross learned to swallow his pride about being a young divorced dad. One of the greatest examples of the three of them being a supportive family is when Carol's parents refuse to attend her wedding to Susan. Ross steps up to walk Carol down the aisle. The depiction of a same-sex couple raising a child was extremely rare on TV at the time, and Friends deserves credit for normalizing LGBTQ+ families. Infertility is a topic that's often treated as taboo, and some big tragedy even today. It's more common for shows to portray families insisting on multiple IVF rounds, rather than exploring other parenthood avenues. But Friends tackled it head on when Monica and Chandler struggle to have a baby. Their emotional journey, from discovering they wouldn't be able to conceive to ultimately deciding to adopt, was portrayed with sensitivity and heart.
We're really gonna adopt?
Yeah.
When they finally meet their twins at the end of the final series, it's a deeply moving moment that underscores the importance of perseverance and love in building a family. It is an important message to people that loving a child isn't exclusive to your own genetic biology. This storyline resonates even more today as conversations around fertility and alternative paths to parenthood have become more open and inclusive. Rachel Green begins the series as a spoiled runaway bride, but by the end, she's an incredible career woman, working in an industry she's always dreamed of. She has the support of her friends and starting from the bottom, and we get to watch her go from being a terrible waitress to carving out a successful career in fashion. When she discovers she is going to be a parent, we see a beautiful and honest conversation between her, Monica, and Phoebe about what to do. Her decision to keep her daughter, Emma, and raise her while pursuing her ambitions sends a powerful message about independence and resilience. At the time, it was still incredibly shocking to think that a woman would raise a child alone. Rachel's journey reflects modern conversations about balancing motherhood and personal goals, making her character arc one of the most relatable in the series. Phoebe Buffay is perhaps the most unconventional character in Friends. Her quirky personality masks a tough upbringing of living on the streets and losing her mother at a young age. Despite these hardships, Phoebe carves out a fulfilling life of creativity and wellness for herself, showing that happiness doesn't always follow a traditional path. Her willingness to embrace her past and her eccentricities is inspiring, and her commitment to her friends reflects the importance of found family. Friends also challenged old-fashioned notions about traditional gender roles in some episodes. For instance, Ross's discomfort with Ben playing with a Barbie doll leads to the gang calling him out for his outdated views on masculinity. Similarly, Rachel hires Sandy, played by Freddie Prinze Jr., a sensitive male nanny, for Emma, which causes Ross obvious discomfort. In both these instances, Ross is the butt of the joke for being oddly reactive. In both cases, he is questioned about his reasoning. These moments subtly push back against rigid gender norms, even if they're often played for laughs. So where does that leave Friends in 2025? For many viewers, the show remains a nostalgic comfort and reminder of carefree evenings spent laughing with their own friendship group. For those there at its launch, it was an honest perspective for growing up in the mid to late 90s. Its humor, warmth, and iconic moments still resonate, and the chemistry among the cast is as magnetic as ever. However, while the progressive elements like Ross's co-parenting and Monica and Chandler's adoption still hold up, they coexist with problematic jokes and stereotypes that detract from the show's legacy. It's also worth considering how Friends compares to modern sitcoms. Shows like The Good Place, Schitt's Creek, and Ted Lasso have raised the bar for inclusivity and emotional depth, creating narratives that resonate with today's audiences. In the end, Friends is both a product of its time and a cultural phenomenon that has left an indelible mark on television history. It's a show that celebrates friendship and love, but also reflects the limitations of the era in which it was made. For fans, the choice is personal. Can we embrace the nostalgia while acknowledging the flaws? Or do the problematic elements overshadow the charm? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite shows here on Screen Rant. Thanks for watching.